Now, we live in an interesting world when it comes to video games. Like, we have hit that point where people are spinning off from the big studios after they've earned their stripes and done their time, and then making these passion projects that either do really, really well or offer something different from the mainstream. And that's why we have a game like Yonder, made by a bunch of people who've worked for various different studios over time, including Chrome. And you'll find that the interesting part of Yonder is that being an old person and knowing what the Tasmanian tiger is, I can see so much of the inspiration from the worlds and the open space of Yonder is coming from that game. But basically, the core concept is you play the young fella walking around the world and interacting with all these different things. The one thing the game has going for it is it does look fantastic. Like, I love the art style. I love how whimsical and lighthearted it is. And that was always the Tasmanian tiger's advantage, was just how great the environments and all of the things that you're interacting with suck you into the world. And that is 100% the strength of this game. The hardest part is you have a game that's basically kind of going for that RPG platformer vibe, but there's no combat. Like, there's no combat. And this is probably what separates it from a lot of these other games is, there's no upgrading swords, there's no even holding a sword. There's none of that. It's either collect quests or there's different objectives that you're given over time by different people and all these different whimsical characters that give you these different jobs. And again, for someone below my age demographic, I'm sure this is great. I'm sure if you were looking for a game for your kids that's reasonably priced, that's great and fanciful and open world and allows them to just explore these great territories and complete these objectives and feel good about themselves, Yonder is that game. If you're looking for kind of a Zelda substitute or something that's going to have those kind of hardcore RPG mechanics attached to such a beautiful world. Like, the first thing a lot of people said when it came out was how similar it looked to Wind Waker, and I don't necessarily agree with that assessment, but I can see why people would say it. It doesn't have any of that kind of gameplay. It just doesn't have any of that kind of drive to it. And that's both its strength and its weakness. If you are looking for those kind of games, Yonder is perhaps not going to scratch that particular itch. It doesn't have any of that driving force as far as beat 10 skeletons or beat this boss. It basically builds itself around exploring these worlds. And as a result, it's great for young kids. Like, it really is aiming at that demographic. It's aiming at people who want to just play these games, explore these wonderful worlds, while they still have their imagination, they haven't had it spoilt for them like the rest of us. This is exactly the kind of game that they should be experiencing. However, if you are looking for a Zelda rip-off or something similar to that, it's not the game for you. If you have young kids or you want to just experience this wonderful, fantastical, whimsical world, Yonder might be worth a look.